Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee, and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're talking about comparative reports, or actually a better title would be how hard it is to compare reports. So let's begin. The reason I'm making this video is we do get a call quite often, especially around the end of the year, where people are running reports and they're pulling up one report. They might be pulling up a sales report, they might be pulling up a production by salesperson report. They're pulling up different reports and getting different numbers on the reports, even though they think they have the criteria the same way. The problem is each report looks at something different. Okay, it may seem like it's looking at the same information, but if we had two reports that showed the exact same information, we wouldn't have two different reports. All right. So, for example, if we go to reports, you'll see we have a sales report. A sales report looks at sales, but the thing is it doesn't care about the statuses. Okay, it doesn't care if it's been canceled. It doesn't care if it's been produced. It doesn't care if it's still waiting to be done. Again, it's only looking at jobs that are sold. All right. A program job production by salesperson report only looks at work that's been done, that's been sold. So again, even though you might think those two reports should show the same information, they are two different reports. Like I said, sometimes you can set the settings and stuff to get them to show the same information, but it can be very, very difficult. Another example, financial reports. We get a lot of calls about this. A customer might pull their detailed aging report. I'm sorry, I think it's detailed aging report. Nope, maybe that wasn't that one. Give me a second here. I'm sorry, detailed balance analysis. I do apologize. Okay, detailed balance analysis, right? They go through and they do a preview, and they have these numbers. All right. Again, as far as where these numbers come from, check the help file. It does go through and give you kind of a breakdown. But like I said, you got these numbers here, and maybe he has a general ledger in his hand and says, well, wait a minute. My general ledger says this, or my aging report balance due says this, but this balance analysis says that. And again, I'm not saying you can't get two reports to show the same information, but sometimes it's really hard. The only thing you can really do is go to show detail, preview the report, or print out the report, and find someone that shows up on one report or transaction that shows up on one report that doesn't show up on the other. All right. Again, the only way to figure out why the numbers are different is you got to find out why something's on one and not on the other. Okay. So once we close that out here. I actually have a scenario set up, and I want to show you exactly how that worked or what I'm talking about, because I actually had this call. I had a customer call me up, and what it is he had kind of a unique way of doing his business. But let me go ahead and show you the preview. I'm just going to grab a customer here real quick, and then I'm going to go to the report. So what he was doing, he was pulling a straight sales report, right? And he was pulling it by sold date. Oops, didn't mean to print. Hold on, cancel that. There we go. Report, sales report. Okay, so again, you ran a report, right, and you got a total. All right, oh, dang it. Let me get out of detail. Hold on a second here. Okay, let's try this again. Third time's the charm, right? Okay, so he got a total. He got 27, right? All he did, the only thing he did is he changed sold date to confirm date, all right? Again, we're even on the same report screen, but look, now instead of being 27, we have 26. All right, that's all he was doing. He was flipping between sold date and confirmation date. All right, well, the thing is, the only way to figure out why those two numbers are different is you have to go to a detail. You have to look at a detail, you have to do preview, see what transactions or people show up on that detail, and then do a detail of the other report, and then find out what people or transactions are on the other report, or in this case, the other option. All right, find someone that shows up on one that does not show up on the other, and then figure out why that is. All right, so again, all he was doing is flipping between sold and confirmed date. Now, again, he had a unique way of doing things. When he activated a job, when he actually went out there and said, okay, we're going to be doing this work and put it in an active status, that was his confirmation date. Okay, when he actually did production, when he actually went out and did the work, that was his sold date. Again, it's kind of a unique way of doing it. When I do trainings, I always say, well, usually confirmation dates when they said they want it, sold dates when you actually activate it. Again, each company uses it differently. I never question why people do the way things they do. I just, try to help the software work the way they want to. So again, his sold date was when he went out and did the work the first time. Confirmation date is when he activated, put it in that green status. All right. So what we had to do is, again, we had to go run the sold date. And then what we did is we actually did what I call fake print. So let me go ahead and do that. So I can do print. And by the way, I did do a video on how to do fake prints. Doing the Microsoft XPS document right. You might want to check that out. And we're going to call this sold date. Okay. Save it. And then we're going to go back to the report. And then we're going to go and do this one. And we're going to do this one, call it confirm date. Again, all the settings are exactly the same. But we're going to do it as confirm date. And then we're going to print, and confirm. Okay, there we go. And save. Now, like I said, we have the detail of the confirm, and we have the detail of the sold. So let's go ahead and pull those files up that I saved. Let me find it here real quick. Here's our sold date. Whoa. There we go. There's our sold date one. And our confirm date one. Where did we go? There's our confirm date one. Oop. Keep wanting to select. Okay, so what we had to do is we had to open up the two reports. There we go. Open up my sold one and confirm one. There we go. Okay, and like I said, we had to find one person that shows up on one report that doesn't show up on the other, and you literally have to go line by line to figure out who that is. So sometimes you can kind of cheat. So I can kind of take here and say, okay, 31754. And as long as these are lined up, I can tell whether or not something's added or missing. So 31783, 31783, 31784. So let me go down to, let me get these lined up here. Okay, 3189. All right. So it looks like there is one. Let's see here. Where is it? 386, 787, 789, 790. Okay, well, I guess I got bumped to the next page. Alright, let's see here. 90, 92, 93, 95, 97. Oh, there we are, right there. Brad Whitford showed up on the sold report, but did not show up on the confirm report. So now we have to go back to that customer's account. So 31804. So we're going ahead and go in 31804, 31804. Pull it up. And we'll take a look at the job I've been looking at. Again, I'm going to pull up the report screen so you can see what the settings were. There we go. I was looking at the mowing job. I was looking for me as a salesperson, so on and so forth. But here's what you notice. When we looked at the sold date, it was looking at what the date was in this field right here. In this case, it was 3/22/2015, which fell between the date range that we're looking at. But when we do confirm date, that's back in December of 2014. The reason why this person did not show up when we chose confirm date is because the date of his confirmation was outside of the date range we selected. So again, something as simple as one date, one option, one checkbox, one dropdown can change what information this report's looking at. Or again, if you're looking at two different reports that are in the system, then it's hard to say why that person doesn't show up unless you do the brute force method and literally go through, look at the detail, find out why one person shows up on, or a transaction shows up on one report, why it does not show up in the other, and then dig through the settings or the information to try to find out. In this case, is because his confirmation date was outside the date range. All right. So again, I'm not saying you couldn't get the two reports to show the same thing, because I could take this date range, say I want sold data this year, but I want to extend that confirmation date out to be, since November. Again, we'll do a preview. And now that confirmation date falls within the date range, you'll see we got the 27 customer count. All right. So like I said, it's not impossible, but sometimes it's really hard, especially if you don't know why they're showing up on one report and not the other. Another thing to be aware of too is, someone may call up and say, hey, I ran this report last week and I ran this report this week, and there's a difference of 15, but we only got 10 sales. All right, where those other 5 come from? I do not know what the settings are of the report you ran last week. You may have the printout. Sometimes we're lucky and it'll actually show you what the criteria was up in this upper right hand corner. It was done detailed list, non-prepaid, all type all. It was done for codes mowing. Again, sometimes we're lucky and some of the criteria is up there in the upper right hand corner. But again, I do not know as a technician how you ran the report. I don't know if someone came in after you under your account and said, oh, I need to check something here really quick. I'll just change this really quick, do a preview or a print or whatever. And then when they close the window, that setting that they use stuck. All right. So again, it's not that we want to say, oh, you're wrong, or it's whatever. It's just, again, because we don't know how the report was ran last week, we do not know what changes were made to get those two different numbers. The only thing to do is, like I said before, is hopefully you ran the detail for the one you ran last week, run the detail for the current one that has different information than you expect, and again, find transactions or customers that show up on one that doesn't show up in the other, and then we can dig through and try to figure out. Because something even as simple as going into the history and taking, like this mowing job wasn't done on the 30th, maybe it was actually done on the 23rd, okay, again, for whatever reason, someone comes in here, changes that date, and let's say 03/23rd, 2015. If we had ran a report from March 30th through March, or through till current, so to March 30th to April 25th, this service would no longer show up on that report. Why? Because now it's actually at a different date. So like I said, we do not know as technicians what has been changed. Again, we're not saying we can't help you or whatever, but unless you have the detail, we'd have to figure out why one is on one report, why one's not on another report, and then again dig through the criteria and try to figure things out. So again, I hope this kind of helps, explains a little bit more about, when you guys call up and say, hey, I got these two different reports, what we're trying to do to try to help you out. Because again, we want to help you. It's just sometimes, like I said, we don't know how the report was ran. Also, unless we can find out an example transaction that shows up in one and not the other, it's hard for us to say why those two numbers are off. So, all right, again, I hope this clarifies some things for you guys, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.